The letter hidden in his jacket, and the woman he never mentioned meet Ilara. She had built a fortress of tolerance around her relationship with Marcus. Not because he was perfect, but because the alternative, the complete annihilation of the life they had built, seemed too daunting. Ilara was the giver, the organizer, the gentle constant. Marcus was the charming, ambitious, emotionally distant star. Their relationship operated on an unspoken contract. She provided stability and unwavering belief. He provided presence, sporadic affection, and a respectable name to attach to her own. Lately, the silence between them had grown thicker than the conversation. His work trips were longer. His phone was always face down. She felt the chill, but she chose to layer up in denial, telling herself, "It's just stress. He's working hard." This is what grown-up love looks like. That morning, she was simply being efficient. The weather had changed, and his heavy coat needed to be put away for the season. She didn't consciously intend to search. Her hand simply slid into the inner pocket, a deep, neglected space, like the corner of a relationship no one talks about, and there it was. Not a receipt, not a business card. A letter. Folded once, crisp, with the distinct impression of a handwritten address on the outside. Her fingers knew the moment they touched it. A specific, almost metallic coldness only a lie carries. She didn't yank it out. She retrieved it slowly, meticulously, as if taking inventory of an expensive heirloom. She unfolded the letter. It was scented. Not a cheap, loud perfume, but something subtle, layered a scent that spoke of deliberate choice. The handwriting was elegant, lips flowing perfectly. The sovereign self in Ilara told her to stop, to put it back, to maintain the illusion of ignorance and the comfort of their shared home. But the deeper, primal sovereign demanded truth. She read the single chilling line that cut through all the years of her devotion. "Last night, I felt like we belonged together." It wasn't a sexual confession. It was worse. It was an emotional claim. It was the promise of a shared future offered to a stranger, using the currency of belonging that Ilara had been striving to earn for years. Her hands began to shake. Not violently, but with a deep internal tremor. It wasn't the shock of the betrayal itself. It was the sickening confirmation of the feeling that had been quietly eating away at her soul. Part of her did expect it. The moments he was absent, the defensiveness, the sudden late nights, they weren't work. They were a choice for someone else. In that instant, Marcus became small. He wasn't a towering figure of love and dedication. He was just a flawed, weak man who had traded his truth for comfort. Ilara did not scream. She did not throw things. She didn't even run to the bedroom to wake him. Confrontation was for the woman who still sought validation or an apology. The sovereign self seeks resolution and peace. The letter remained open on the kitchen counter. It was the witness, the evidence, but more importantly, it was the key to her freedom. She walked to her closet. She didn't pack everything. She packed the essentials, the things she would need to start building her new territory. The items she packed represented the life she was choosing. Her passport, her investment documents, her laptop, and the favorite, tattered journal where she had chronicled her silent emotional life. With every item placed in the suitcase, she was symbolically separating her truth from his lies. The quiet was deafening. The ticking of the clock was the only sound in the apartment, counting the final minutes of their shared illusion. She took off the ring he had given her, the one that represented permanence. It suddenly felt heavy, an anchor to a sinking ship. She placed it next to the letter. By 9 a.m., Marcus was due to wake up. She left a single folded note where the letter had been. It wasn't accusatory. It was final. "I found the letter. I'm gone. You can keep your lies, and I will keep my self-respect. If you are reading this and your heart is pounding, it's not because you fear the truth. It's because you are ready to claim it. The heaviest baggage you carry is the potential you waste waiting for someone else to change. Stop packing their excuses. Start packing your sovereignty. What is the one thing you need to take back for yourself right now?" Ilara drove. She drove until the cityscape was behind her and the horizon was vast and open. This was her first great conquest, physical separation from the source of her compromise. The journey of the single woman, now the sovereign self, is not easy, but it is deeply satisfying. She found an apartment, small but bathed in light. She painted the walls a color only she loved. She bought a massive desk, dedicating space not to shared meals, but to her work and ambition. New conquest one, financial autonomy. She took control of every cent. This wasn't about money. It was about the power of choice. Her money would only fund her dreams, not bail out his irresponsibility. New Conquest 2. Emotional integrity. She stopped apologizing for her feelings. She sought therapy not to process him, but to understand her own tolerance for disrespect. She conquered the need for external validation, realizing her worth was immutable. New Conquest 3. The Standard. She finally understood that the absence of a bad relationship is infinitely better than the presence of a mediocre one. When she eventually started dating, her standards were the gatekeepers of her peace. She was no longer looking for someone to complete her. She was looking for someone complementary to her already complete life. The Sovereign Self recognizes that heartbreak is the universe's brutal way of clearing the way for your true self. The letter, once a symbol of profound hurt, became the map to her greatest victory, the moment she chose herself irrevocably. She conquered the fear of being alone and discovered the immense power of being whole. Her new life was not a compromise. It was a kingdom. The fight is over. The conquest is complete. She chose her crown over his chaos. The Sovereign Self inside you is waiting for permission to rule. Do not let one piece of paper, one betrayal, or one weak person define your future. Your self-respect is not an apology. It is your new constitution. Write your own final chapter, the one where you are the monarch. What is the first declaration of independence you will make today?